Welcome, welcome, welcome. In today's video, we will be taking a look at what should your EDC core function setup be. And there's a whole lot to EDC. There's flashlights, there's knives, there's pry bars. But we're mostly going to be looking at knives versus multi-tools in this video. And, I'm just going to be throwing out some points around of why you may want to do this, why you may want to do that. Which one is right for you is ultimately up to you. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off, I personally, if I cannot carry anything else, if I have to carry one thing, a knife, multi-tool, whatever, I choose to have a multi-tool. My multi-tool of choice that I've carried every single day for a year and a half now is this Victorinox Swiss Tool X. This has been my favorite multi-tool, and I have handled a bunch of multi-tools. This thing has been a beast and a pleasure to carry. There's things that you enjoy carrying, but this is a pleasure to carry. I look forward to having this on my person, and it's just been phenomenal to have. But some of you may be wondering, why should I get a multi-tool? Why can't I just have a knife and pliers or something like that? And we're going to get into this a little bit. This is going to be maybe a longer video than usual. We will see. Right now I am digging out some stuff that is in my pockets for this video here, without getting too clustered here. We're going to fold some of these multi-tools up, have them down here across the bottom. But why multi-tools? Personally, my preferred carry, and I'm gonna show a little bit of how much I carry here. I carry a multi-tool. I carry at least one heavy-duty knife. I carry at least one external plier. And I carry one bit kit of some sort, usually this one. Why is that bit missing? What did I do that used that bit? Shoot. You ever had bits that just disappear on you? This one's disappeared. I'm going to have to find that one. But I personally like to have a variety of stuff. And it comes up to weigh a lot. It really does. But I have, a large main blade that I can use on something. I like having a multi-tool with a separated bit driver system, because how many times are you working on a nut and a bolt? You can hold the nut on this side, but you gotta have a screwdriver for the other side to get it off. Multiple options here. Or just use one of these in the bit driver. It would be hard for me to just slim down to, say, carrying just this and a flashlight. Like, people do that all the time. You'll look on Instagram. People have this sort of setup all the time where it's just a knife and a flashlight. They love that carry. That's absolutely fine. But which is better? Carrying separate individual tools, or carrying a multi-tool, carrying a Swiss Army knife, which is technically a multi-tool, but I feel it's in its own category. What size multi-tool? That can be another issue. Do you do a lot of bits? If not, bit kits, don't worry about a bit kit if you don't do a lot of screws. If you're just fixing the average stuff around the house, like your wall socket, your light socket, your outlets, a lot of that stuff can be fixed with just a multi-tool, no bit kit included. With the exception of like the plumbing, of course, because you get bigger wrenches and things in there. So like naturally you would have to have, a dedicated set for that. But I'm talking like your average, basic electrical, basic hardware, hanging a picture, doing this, doing that. A multi-tool, just the multi-tool, nothing else, can get the job done wonderfully. What multi-tools should you get? This video is not going to have a lot of cohesive flow to it. We're going to be bouncing around a bit. I apologize for that, but it's been a while since I've had a really bouncy video. And I'm not talking about the camera going wumble, 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 wumble. But I carry a multi-tool, these 2 pliers, a bit kit, a flashlight, 2 pocket knives, a large heavy-duty knife, and a smaller food prep knife. And then I have like some added accoutrement. I've always got keychain Swiss Army knife on hand. You know, I like to have the full board just filled up to completion, you know, ready to go. But a lot of you, that's too much to carry. You couldn't carry all that. If you wear sweats all the time, get this. This will get you through most of your stuff every day with just that alone. A flashlight and a knife, you know, fantastic. Get one of these. These are fantastic. At the end of the video, I'm going to go through and try to describe what all I have here now. So please bear with me. And I'm constantly digging stuff out to just add to the table, because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be shown and a lot of stuff that needs to be talked about. I might end up breaking this up into multiple parts. Who knows? We'll see. But most people have a pocket knife, and they've probably got a smaller, you know, more public-friendly size knife. This is a 3-inch blade, you know, 3.5-inch handle. You know, it's not big, it's not scary. You know, I usually carry a bigger knife and then a smaller knife, because like I said, I do food prep with one, hard work with the other. That's how I like to do it. It spreads out the wear and tear on the knife. I get to showcase more gear. And for the channel, I have to carry a little bit extra because I need to carry this stuff regularly to get an idea of how it behaves. Is it good? Is it bad? And to try to give you guys better stuff to go on here. I also carry a full-on Swiss Army knife like this, or the Deluxe Tinker, which is somewhere elsewhere at the moment. But I carry a lot, and it's a lot. But I've figured out a way to carry it all, and it just works out quite nicely. I personally love belt to carry. I like to have these belt pouches. I have one on one side of my belt with these 2 pliers inside, snapped up, an O-light, and then on the other side, you know, this full kit in its original leather pouch, and that's a lot. That really is. But I love carrying it. And I use the stuff a lot too. I don't use it every day. I don't use everything every day, but I use it enough that I know if I don't take it today, I'm going to regret taking it probably. But my basic EDC at the core, what is an EDC to me? It is a decent flashlight, a decent bit driver set, because I work with bits a lot, a multi-tool, and a knife. That is my core EDC. The main part of this video, though, is going to be, should we carry pliers, like a multi-tool like this, or should we carry pliers and a Swiss Army knife? That's kind of the core thing I'm going here. That's going to be the underlying theme, and with other aspects of EDC. Already we're 9 minutes into this video. Oh boy, this is going to be a long one. And it's really up to you at the end of the day, but for the average person, I would almost recommend going with a pair of pliers and a Swiss Army knife, because these are full-size pliers for all intents and purposes, and they are the same, you know, depth, give or take, on all of this. They cannot cut wire like the multi-tool can. The multi-tools usually have wire cutters, but you're not usually cutting wire a lot, and if you are, you're probably going to get the dedicated tool for the job. But for the average person, I would suggest a pair of pliers and a Swiss Army knife of whatever model looks adequate to you for your taste. There's a bunch there. Just peruse the site. You'll find something that fits. And then which pliers? Do you get these normal little channel lock looking Knipex, or do you want to get the Pliers wrench, which is like an open-end wrench with adjustability of a normal pair of pliers? And I carry both of these daily, and I do think I use this one a little bit more, but I use this one quite a lot too. But this one you can really clamp down on stuff because you get amplified leverage, pinching force, more so than you do on this. And if you're really wanting to like bear down on something and hold it down, this is a good one to get. But if you're just doing normal handyman craft stuff, 5-inch Cobras, perfect. And then, you know, a knife and a pair of pliers, that's a fantastic setup too. It really, what do you do in your day-to-day life? Are you just going around city boy not doing much, or are you redneck fixing, tinkering everything? What end of the scale are you? If you're city boy, go Swiss Army knife and forget the pliers. If you're a redneck country boy fixing everything, get all this stuff and carry it all on hand. But, you know, you want to kind of pair stuff up. You want to make it look good. Like, I've got the black scales on this Victorinox here. Get myself a nice black flashlight, get a black knife. Nice decked out version there. I've got these kind of titanium set up here with a steel. You know, pair that up with a multi-tool. You know, I like to color coordinate stuff. And the spectrum goes all over the place. You can have something as simple as a one-bladed pocket knife like so, or a, you know, 50 utensil Swiss Army knife that has pliers, knife blade, saw, file, you know, all the goodies. And we're probably not going to come to much of a conclusion in this video, but we're just kind of rambling around. You get to see some of this gear that you maybe haven't seen for a while. You get to see some new gear that's just come out. You know, we're bouncing around. Get a large Marbles brand lockback folder. Love this thing. $10, but it's a beater. You break it, you throw it away, get a new one. It's just $10. Great knife. Carry a fixed blade. You know, if you're in an area where you can carry a fixed blade no trouble, carry a Mora. These suckers are, you know, not that tactical looking to where they're scary, but they're hard working knives. They do a lot. They're fantastic. They're comfortable as all get out. These things are great and cheap. You know, you break this, you go buy a new one. You lose it, no sweat. Gerber, I would avoid Gerber because their stuff is just gimmicky enough. Now, I have had this multi-tool here, the center drive. I've used it a lot. I will continue to keep it in my toolbox at the ready, but that is not my carry. My two carried tools are the Leatherman Free P2 that's been modified with the bit driver, and the Victorinox Swiss Tool X. These are my two carries. If I got to pick one or the other, I'm picking one of these two. My third one down, if I'm wanting to be a little bit more colorful and smaller, where it doesn't look as threatening in this world that we live in, go with the Leatherman Juice. The green scales just break the tension. It's small. It's great. The knife blade, you know, big enough to do stuff, not big enough to look scary. It's fantastic. I got the old Juice here. This is the pre-original discontinued version, and this is the 2022 Sprint Run. Very nice tools. Glad to have these two collector's editions, basically, considering that they are discontinued. And then I love this Leatherman ratcheting bit driver. Even if you don't have a Leatherman multi-tool, if you've got something with a bit driver, you know, it works on that because it's 1/4 inch. Can work on a lot of things. My favorite little hack is a Victorinox with the pliers here, and it only works in the plier channel here. You can pinch that down, and you've got, you know, a little bit of leverage for some ratcheting that you can do with that. It kind of locks in also. It doesn't pop out on you too easy. It does wiggle a little bit, but that's absolutely fine. And it kind of looks like a cool little tank. But my favorite underappreciated combo is the Leatherman ratcheting driver. You could also get the non-ratcheting driver. It still has the flat base to it, and do that, you know. Any Victorinox with the pliers on hand, it works great. I love it. It is a fantastic little hack. You know, if you're going to have any sort of bits in your EDC whatsoever, consider getting the Leatherman ratcheting driver, ratcheting bit extender. There's also other knockoff Leatherman non-ratcheting extenders. Those are fantastic too. Consider getting a bit extender because it can extend your reach. I know these are not hardened as well as, say, a Weehaw bit or something, but I love the diversity that you get with the Leatherman bit kit here, where you just get like 40 some bits, you know, that are all usable bits. One moment. I love bit kits. I work with screws a lot, and you gotta have something to tighten it down. This has been a fantastic ratcheting driver. I love this thing. I didn't think it would be as good as it was until I got one, and then when I got one and just felt how refined it was and how strong it is, like, you gotta have one of these. If you get no other bit kit, get a Victorinox ratcheting bit kit. That little wrench is phenomenal. And then the sleeve comes with 4 bits, and then you can like add 6 bits to it. It either comes with 6, add 4, comes with 4, add 6, something like that. You can adjust what bits you use to fit your needs. And just kind of snaps in there. It's just been phenomenal to have. And usually during the day I have the Leatherman in a pouch setting off in the car close by. I do not usually carry 2 multi-tools. There's a few times that I do, but I usually, if I got to pick one and go, I'm going Victorinox. If you got to pick a brand to go with, go Victorinox. You can't go wrong. It's easy maintenance. If you're worrying about rust and, you know, quality control of your tools, go Victorinox. You're guaranteed good stuff 99 times out of 100. I have not had a bad Victorinox yet, and I've had a fair chunk. But my EDC is a flashlight that's decent, a knife that's decent, and a multi-tool at the barest of minimums. And then I like to add these 2 dedicated 5-inch pliers to it. They just extend your usability so much more. Should you get a multi-tool with a plier head in it, or should you get a multi-function knife and have a pair of pliers with it alongside? I can't really know. I would lean towards the multi-tool because you can just do more with less space, in my opinion. And it's also, you know, being one thing, it's easier to keep track of, whereas this, you could lose that, and you're like, well, now what do I do? And it's a large topic that I really cannot give you a good, solid answer. I can do my best. And if it comes down to multi-tool or Swiss Army knife and pliers, I would say multi-tool. That is me personally. That if I had to give a definitive answer, that's me. Go multi-tool. Even a small multi-tool like the SOG Power Pint, Leatherman Juice, if you can get one off of eBay. It's just such a good package. And then, what kind of multi-tool? Do you get a multi-tool like the Leatherman Skeletool, where it is a pair of pliers, a screwdriver if you have the bits for it, like so, and a knife. And that's something else. How good of a knife do you want? Are you the kind of person that a knife is a knife, this is great for cutting a box open? Go with that. If you're like, no, I want something a little bit stronger, get a secondary. Or make this your primary. Your multi-tool blade would be your secondary. But what kind of a knife person are you? Are you a multi-tool knife is sufficient for you? You know, is that all you need? Or do you want a little bit more? That, you know, ask yourself these questions. Me personally, I like to have a multi-tool knife as a secondary, but I've always got a folder of some sort that's bigger, stronger, and that is my primary. If I gotta cut something, I whip this out and cut it back in my pocket. No fuss, no muss. And then there's multi-tools where everything is one-handed, with like the Free P2, Free P4. Everything on there is one-handed, fan it out, pick it out. This model of the Victorinox is not one-handed, but they have introduced just last year and continuing through this year and such, several models that have one-handed knife blade, one-handed serrated blade, one-handed scissors, I think. Consider checking those out. How important is one-handed operations to you? And flashlights really aren't part of the equation, but you gotta have you gotta have a flashlight. And I've almost always got two on hand at any one time. One for me and one to pass to someone else if they need it. And that's something else. Do you carry just enough for you? Or do you carry enough for you and then a little bit for someone else? Yeah? Because we get thunderstorms here a lot, and you never know if the power goes out and you're like, well, you know, here, Dad, you take this flashlight, I'll take this flashlight, and, you know, we both got something to see with. Consider that. But if you're getting a multi-tool, lean towards a multi-tool that has a little bit more to it than, say, a skeletal. A skeletal is like the bare minimum of what you need in a multi-tool. It's got good pliers, good strong pliers, it's got a good knife. You've got bit kit capabilities, you've got a bit driver there, and then a bit storage in one of the handles. You can add a bit sleeve to it, fantastic. You know, also carry the ratcheting driver, whichever way you go. Swiss Army knife and pliers or multi-tool, get yourself a Leatherman ratchet driver, it's just fantastic. And then, if you have the Knipex, you can lock the Knipex into that, and then you get more leverage to bust a bolt loose. Consider that. Consider what modifications you can do with your stuff. See if it works on this. It does. Both Knipex models can modify themselves to use the Leatherman ratcheting bit driver for more leverage. And I have rambled on for a good long time. It's time to kind of wrap this up real quick. And I will show you, call out all this gear here that's been used in this video, and then maybe a little bit more. So, before I call all this out, I'd like to mention that I am on Instagram, JSPR_EDC. Consider following me there. That would really help me out a lot. Spread the word. I don't post a lot, but I post regularly enough, and I usually post upcoming video things. Like a day or so before the video comes out, I'll post a screenshot of what's to come, so you have a little bit of an idea of what's going to hit your YouTube notifications. Also, if you are subscribing on YouTube nowadays, for some stupid reason now, YouTube's new algorithm, if you subscribe to a YouTube channel and do not hit one of the options of the bell notifications, YouTube will pretty quickly unsubscribe you from that channel, thinking that you accidentally subscribed. So if you want to subscribe to my channel or any other channel on YouTube at the moment, please consider hitting the bell icon and selecting one of those options that pops up, because if not, you will be unsubscribed within a day or so, something like that. So be warned, YouTube's pretty funky right now. I have a Patreon at the moment, JSPR_EDC. Consider dropping a buck or so there. That would really help me out to buy more gear for the channel and help showcase new stuff for you guys. So with those announcements out of the way, we will finally start talking about what we got here. This is a Morik knife. I got this from Goodwill. I believe it is the companion. I am not quite positive here, but it is a carbon steel where the blade's rusting just a little bit. It's got a very clicky sheath here that holds the knife in quite well. It did not come with a lanyard hole. I did that myself, drilling out through the rubber. The tang is a partial tang, comes down about 2/3 of the way. Strong little knife. These things are cheap, under $20 across the board for many knives. They do have some fancy models that are cracking up into the $70 range, but the average knife from Morik, made in Sweden, is going to be under $20. Great little knife to get if you want to carry a fixed blade. That is very, very good models across the board. If you see Morik on something, it's going to be good. Two knives that I did not show in the video are the Opinel number 8 and number 9. They do not come with this engraving, nor do they come with lanyard holes, finger notches, or on this one, a little wire stripper at the base. I modified them myself. These are great blank knives to personalize, take a wood burner kit, etch somebody's name on it. These things are fantastic. Normally under $15 per knife. Pretty good. Made in France. Good quality. Always love them. I've got a couple of them going around here. I love all sizes that they make. They go big to small, small to big. Consider getting some. Carbon steel, stainless steel. This is the Victorinox Swiss Champ. This is basically their best-selling full-size Swiss Army knife, and I can very well see why. I've had this for over 1.5 years now. This thing is phenomenal. I love this sucker. It's got a lot of stuff. I'm not going to go into what all these things have. I'm going to go into what they are, and you can look them up yourself. This is the Victorinox Swiss Champ. Great knife. This is the Marbles large lockback folder. This is basically a competitive for the buck 110. Very good knife. Lovely. Cheap too. $10. Can't go wrong. This is the Gerber Center Drive. Good set of pliers. Good large knife blade. And where it gets its name, the center lying screwdriver. Holds 1/4-inch bits. Can also hold the Leatherman bit extender with ease, but not necessarily the bits, because it's one-sided bit depth. These are double-sided bits. There's a little bit of a finicky thing there. This is the Land Knives 9104. This is a poor man's Sabenza, in my opinion. Comes in at like 1.5 centimeters shorter than real Sabenza. Great knife. Comes in about $30, $35. Excuse me. Land 9201. This is a $23 knife. Fantastic. Solid lockup, no blade play, axis lock. Good knife. Highly recommend it. Leatherman Skeletal. This one looks a little banged up because I got it used. This thing is great. You can buy them new. You can also buy them a more premium model with S30V steel blade and smooth edge all the way up, not this weird combo grind. Boker Plus Atlas Multi. knife blade, very good knife blade, and very large scissors. Great knife, 30-something dollars. Highly recommend. For about $15, SRM PT711SF. Great single folding knife, wonderful. Leatherman ratcheting bit extender, lovely, coming in at about 30 some odd dollars. Coming in at about the same price, give or take, is bit sleeve combo. These things are hard to get, but if you can get a hold of them, get some. I love them. I've had those for over a year. Wonderful set. I did not buy these when I bought this. This is about almost a year old now. But I bought these about a year and a half, 2 years ago with another multi-tool from Leatherman. Used them a lot. They've been tried and true and solid. Lovely tools. This is the Victorinox Mini Champ. Great little knife. Has a bunch of stuff in it. This is a Night Eyes S-Beaner. Just a generic S-Beaner from the brand. This is an a Rovivon Aurora A3. Great little knife, flashlight, very bright. Highly recommended for a keychain light. You know, if you're going to consider getting anything at EDC, consider getting these. These are lovely. This is an Olight i3T EOS in titanium. Lovely. Olight i5R EOS in aluminum. Fantastic. Olight S2R Baton 2. Tank of a knife. 2-3 years running now. Wonderful. Original battery that it comes with. You know, it's dropped on the concrete a few times. Tank of a knife. Or a tank of a flashlight. Consider getting one. Those things are great. Victorinox Bit Kit. Consider getting one of those. Yes, you can buy these just as is. Leatherman Free P2. This one I have modified with a Shapeways.com Leatherman Free Series Bit Exchanger. Wonderful piece of equipment there. We'll save those two for last. Knipex 5-inch pliers wrench. I say Knipex because that's how the company themselves pronounce it. They even sell shirts. They even sell t-shirts that say Knipex. That's how it's pronounced. These are the 5-inch Cobra water pump pliers. Lovely things. Had these for almost a year now. Tried and true and solid as a tank. Victorinox Swiss Tool X, meaning this model has scissors. I gotta have scissors in my EDC. That's just how it is. Consider getting some Leatherman pouches. The medium pouch holds the P2 wonderfully and bit kit and everything. But if you wish to carry the Knipex pliers on a belt, get the large Leatherman pouch and then stick the pliers in and you've got something good to go. I love finding non-brand stuff to go with another brand. It's just a fun little hack I do. Also, with the Leatherman Juice multi-tools, just so you all know, the corkscrew on those is pretty much the same as the Victorinox. And so you can pack in Victorinox corkscrew add-ons like the little eyeglass bit driver, the fire ant, fire starter sets. Those all will fit, at least on these two that I have. They're great. But this is the Juice XE6 and this is the Juice CS4. Fantastic models. If you can buy one, get one. These things are worth the money. Maybe not over $100, but I paid, like these are going $60. I got them half off on, got this one, half off Black Friday 2022. This was a steal, coming in at $30. This I got really cheap, like $30-something on eBay. look for them. They are worth the money. So, with all of that said, I think I've said all I need to say in this video. Get a drink of Coke here. So, with that said, I hope this video was useful, hope it was informational, hope it helps you build your EDC to your standards, and I hope you got something out of this video, because I rambled on and bounced all over the place. If nothing else, I hope you just saw a piece of gear that you liked and want to look into, so consider doing that. Consider hitting the like and subscribe. That really helps me out a lot. I'm trying to hit $1,000 or 1,000 subs to where I can get monetized for these videos. I am not getting paid by YouTube yet. Trying to get there. I've climbed up really fast this past year. I've been doing YouTube for over a year now. I've climbed far and fast. But I hope to hit past 1,000 because that's going to change a lot for me. And remember, if you subscribe to a YouTube channel, hit the notification bell that pops up when you do, because if you do not, YouTube will unsubscribe you from that channel. I'm not making this stuff up. It's happening. It's a sad realism of YouTube, but that is a thing that's happening. Gotta roll with it. So, with all those announcements said, I do videos at Fridays at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Keep your lookout, and until the next time, farewell, carry well, and bye-bye.